Hey crafters, this is Paulette, and I'm going to show you a very rude little cabinet that was the scraps after I built this big, huge cabinet. When we moved into our house about 18 years ago, there was a little area in the backyard a lot of people have for their dogs, and it was made out of these two fabricated wood fence panels, and half of it was chain link fence, and we took that down because we wanted our dog to utilize the whole backyard. And so one day while my husband was at work, I built this cabinet, and then the little scrappy cabinet I'm going to show. So I had enough to just cut, lengthwise and get the two end pieces in the left door, and then I had to make the right hand side. So it's kind of gimpy, but it's fun. And then I painted my little flower pots and my little ficus trees on there with acrylic paint. And oh, here's some of the very first stamping I ever did. These wonderful little sunshine doorknobs. I don't even know who makes that stamp. I'll have to go upstairs and look now. But those were stamped and colored with colored pencil on tissue paper, and then just decoupaged onto the knobs. And you can see here, look at this huge gap on the right hand side. And some of those pieces I had to saw down to get them to fit in there. So anyway, my husband come home and he was like, "Is this level?" I'm like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Is it square?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." Well, it's not, because I don't know anything about that. And I built these in the garage, and they're on a slant because your garage floor is built on a slant so that if water comes in, it will drain back out. And I did not know that. So we're going to flip around here, and we're going to talk about this very crude little cabinet here that was literally the scraps that were left over from the big cabinet. But I needed a place to put my baby clothes. They were in this little dresser that's been every color under the sun. And I saw a beautiful dresser in a magazine, and did my best to replicate it with my sad little painting there. But this really bad little shelf was in the kitchen, and I've repurposed it for my baby clothes because with them in the dresser, I just couldn't see what I had. So it really is very, very crude. There's only two little boards in here for every shelf, and that's why this extra plywood is in here, so I could set things in there. And I had these two beautiful grass baskets. So I've got socks and house shoes in one, and I've got hats and gloves in the other one. And then down here, I've got my burp rags. Because our baby had a terrible bout with the acid reflux. And she just turned 7 months, so she's learning to sit up and balance on her own. We got bibs right there. And so we're really doing pretty good. But all the stuff here on the right-hand side from the white sweaters over is too big, and then to the left is the right size. And my little curtain rod would not stay in here. I've got too many clothes. It wouldn't stay in here, just bungeed between there. So I took this board that was right here. I took it up and put it down here so it would hold those two things, and then I could just balance my curtain rod on there. Now, clearly, it's bowing, and I need to buy a dowel, and next time I go to Walmart, I will get a wooden dowel. But I've got my extra diapers and some books down there, and I've got some toys stuck down in there. And it just works for right now. And my little curtain that's snagged. So I'll just shut that, and it just works for right now. I have some beautiful doors. Part of them are in the garage, and I'm using part of them as a headboard that we used for my daughter's wedding as the backdrop to the ceremony. And so I think when weather gets a little bit warmer, I'm going to have my husband cut those up and maybe build me a nice little armoire. So I think that's what I've got in mind, and that'll be fun. It'll be much nicer than this. This is not going to keep out the spiders and the dust bunnies, but I had to have something so I could see what I have. So anyway, that's a little bit of who I am. I used to build furniture while my husband was at work, and I haven't done that in a while. Not since starting my aviary, which is just, I need to give that hobby up because now I'm primary daycare for my baby. But that's a little bit about who I am. And if you have any questions, give me a shout.